You want to have free English, French, and job searching videos to increase your skills to immigrate to Canada. Every day, you will have videos with articles, grammar rules, exercises, and tips for you to use during your busy day and improve your English, French, and your job searching skills. It is only up to you. And you alone. By hitting the subscribe button and the like and bell icons, you can have more examples of several accents like American, British, French, and especially Canadian. You will get exercises and tips to prepare yourself for the international exams required to immigrate to Canada. You will have templates and tips for your job searching. By taking all this, you will increase your chances to settle in Canada. Check our website link in the description below this video. You will have these videos in a partnership with Canada Smart Mind. You are going to see here 1. A text to improve your pronunciation. 2. A grammar rule to know how to say your things. 3. An exercise to consolidate your knowledge. You will learn how to speak and listen to English and French. That is why it's very important to click on the like and bell icons and on the subscribe button to receive our videos. Here you improve your skills to listen, read, write, and speak. In order to get a higher score on international tests, to improve your career abilities, and to immigrate to Canada or any other English or French-speaking country, pay close attention to this video to find out how. 1. Text, script, and the audio file.
The United Nations Climate Change Conference, known as COP26, is continuing in Glasgow, Scotland. World leaders, climate experts, and activists have gathered in an effort to negotiate new action plans to fight the widespread effects of climate change. Technology is likely to play a big part in helping the world reach its climate goals in the future. Here is a closer look at some possible technology-based solutions. Fusion is the process that fires the sun, but some experts say it could someday power our homes. Fusion happens when the nuclei of two atoms are subjected to extreme heat. This leads to the formation of a new, larger atom and large amounts of energy. One problem is that the process itself requires a large amount of energy. Developers of the technology have not yet performed a fusion reaction that releases more energy than it requires. In addition, running an electric power plant off of fusion would require the resulting heat to be contained in an economical way. Still, scientists at Britain's Oxford University, America's Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and other places say they are making progress. The British government believes a working model for producing electricity can be in place by the year 2040. Advanced nuclear plants would be smaller than today's massive nuclear reactors. Experts say they could be used in rural areas and could take over for wind and solar power when the sun goes down or the wind dies. But advanced nuclear reactors are difficult and costly to build. Critics say they would also create more dense waste, and they would run on uranium, which is far more enriched than fuel used in today's reactors. That could make some advanced reactors more appealing to militants seeking materials to make weapons. In the United States, Bill Gates has said he aims to build a reactor that uses advanced nuclear technology for about $1 billion. His plans call for many advanced nuclear plants to be operational by the 2030s. China, Russia, and Japan are also working on the technology. Last month, a Swiss company announced it had launched the world's largest carbon capturing plant in Iceland. The system captures carbon dioxide, or CO2, directly from the air and puts the gas underground. Currently, there are 15 direct air capture plants operating worldwide. The International Energy Agency, IEA, estimates the plants capture more than 9,000 metric tons of CO2 per year. While that might sound like a lot, it is about equal to the amount produced by about 2,000 cars over the same period. Carbon capturing costs are currently high, in the range of $600 per metric ton of CO2 captured. But supporters say those costs will fall as the technology improves. Supporters also say tax breaks for businesses in the U.S. and other countries could help the technology. But critics, including the environmental group Sierra Club, say offering large credits could actually lead to more plants continuing to burn fossil fuels. Hydrogen can be mixed with natural gas to make a cleaner burning fuel. This could power a fuel cell vehicle. Such a vehicle would release environmentally friendly water vapors. So-called clean hydrogen can be produced using energy methods such as wind and solar. But those methods are more costly than gray hydrogen, which is made with fossil fuels. Another possibility, known as blue hydrogen, can be made in natural gas plants that capture carbon. But some scientists say that process can release methane gas, which would make hydrogen no cleaner than natural gas itself. Saudi Arabia, the world's largest oil exporter, is planning to build a $5 billion plant to produce clean hydrogen. Geothermal power plants capture heat up to 370 degrees Celsius, far below the Earth's surface. The heat creates steam that can turn turbines to produce electricity. The United States, Indonesia, the Philippines, and Kenya lead the world in geothermal electricity production. But the technology would need to greatly expand to become a major alternative to fossil fuels. Experts estimate the U.S. has the capacity to produce 10% of the country's current power demand through geothermal power. But startup costs to build the technology are high. This has prevented major investments so far. Countries lacking in fossil fuel resources, including Japan and Singapore, are seeking to develop geothermal power. I'm Brian Lynn.
Now, you had an example of pronunciation. I wish I could say some nice words and cool you down, but here is the thing, you have to go deep into your practice to develop your skills to talk. Now that you will have this video, smash the subscribe button and the like and bell icons to get all the videos from us. We post here one video every day of English, French, and on the Canadian job market. We teach you the basics of pronunciation, grammar, and vocabulary in English and French. Check our website to enroll in our programs. In the description you have the link for US $9.80 by month of a recurring payment. You will have all this. Also, we teach you how to get a job in Canada. The good news is that you can have all these videos for free. If you hit the subscribe button and the like and bell icons, we wish to be your partner on your journey. Now, you will have this. 2. Grammar rule explanation. 12 tips on how to improve your English speaking skills. English is the world's lingua franca, a common language that people with different native languages can use to communicate. Thanks to English, people with completely different native languages, maybe Hindi, French, and Japanese, can sit down and have a conversation together. English now spans across countries and cultures, and the ability to speak it well will open many doors for your career and social life. The more fluent you are in English, the more interesting, exciting and insightful conversations you can have. It enables life-enriching experiences like traveling, studying and working abroad, not only in the US, but also many other countries where English is widely spoken. The world is your oyster, the world is yours. The other good news is that you can improve English speaking skills without a classroom partner or stressful lessons. It's totally possible to have fun and master speaking a language at the same time. Pronouncing the words correctly is the key to eloquence, but it is not everything. This article will take you beyond the foundational aspects to reach communicative competence. Build a strong foundation. In order to express yourself eloquently in English, you need a wide variety of vocabulary and the correct pronunciation. 1. Expand your vocabulary. Learn new words every day. Gleaning new words day in, day out is a good way to widen your vocabulary. Commit to a suitable target. It can be 3 daily words, or it can be 10 daily words. Even if you only have time to learn 1 new word per day, it is still worth trying. By learning 1 word every day, after 1 year you will have learned 365 new English words. Write the number down to remind yourself frequently. If you have a learning partner, share it with her so that she can check on your progress. Some good resources for words are the news, songs and TV shows, depending on your daily habits. If you love listening to music, pay attention to the lyrics and take note of the words you do not know. Songs often contain a lot of useful vocabulary, phrases and expressions, therefore, they are great for learning English. With Canada Smart Mind, you'll have access to all the words you need and more. Give it a free try and see your speaking skills skyrocket in no time. Learn words and phrases in chunks. It is important that you learn words in groups. For example, you refer to beverages as a glass of wine, a pint of beer, a cup of tea, a pot of coffee, etc. It is better to learn those phrases than merely wine, beer, tea and so on. You can also benefit from learning words that are related. The moon has 4 phases during a lunar month: crescent, gibbon, waxing and waning. It is more efficient to learn all 4 words at the same time to improve your pronunciation. You might know a lot of words, but if you fail to say them correctly, you will not be understood. That seems like a waste of the time spent on remembering words, right? When using online dictionaries such as Macmillan and Merriam-Webster, make use of the little speaker symbol to check the pronunciation of any word that you are not sure about. There are English pronunciation tutorials on YouTube or podcasts like English Pronunciation Pod or American English Pronunciation to teach you the many aspects of American English pronunciation. When you are ready for something more challenging, try out tongue twisters. Some examples are available here. Personally, I love the 4 candles sketch from the show The Two Ronnies. It might not be a typical example of everyday conversation, but it shows you the richness of spoken English. Besides, you will have a good laugh. Learning proper English pronunciation is essential for excelling in conversations with English speakers and even in situations in school or at work. 3. Learn the natural flow of English. Being able to say individual words correctly is great, but the secret of speaking fluently in English lies in the flow of sentences. Whenever you read a piece of poetry, listen to a melodic song or watch a hilarious sitcom, pay attention to the following: linking. Notice how native speakers link words together, joining 2 sounds, making a sound disappear, or changing a sound for a better flow. Contractions. Contractions are shortened forms of 2 words. For example, I plus am equals I'm, he plus will equals he'll, they plus have equals they've, do plus not equals don't. Stress. There are stressed syllables in a word and stressed words in a sentence. Rhythm. The rhythm is the overall result of stress, contractions and linking. It is the ups and downs. The musical feature of English. 4. Build English speaking confidence. One of the biggest barriers to developing English speaking skills is confidence. It is certainly something that all language learners have difficulty with, and one of the best ways to overcome this is to get out there and practice. If you think you've got what it takes, then get out there and practice English with strangers. That's right, by following the tips in the video, you'll be able to focus on a sometimes forgotten component of language learning: confidence. After a while, you'll completely rid yourself of any English speaking fear. Building a strong foundation in the language. Techniques to improve English speaking skills. Now that you have a strong foundation, you can apply some techniques to hone Improve your English speaking skills. 5. Speech shadowing. In a nutshell, this technique is about imitation. You listen to how a native speaker says something and try to copy it. Pick your favorite video with subtitles. Make sure that it is something you enjoy watching because you will listen to it many times. Listen to the video once and read the subtitles to get a good grasp of the general content and flow. While you are playing it again, complete the next step. Imitate the narrator sentence by sentence. Play a listen, pause, speak record. Optional. Copy the speech pattern as best as you can. If you choose to record your practice, you can compare yours and the original, or else just listen to your own sound and be critical of the difference or similarity. Repeat this step until the end of the video. 6. Self-talk. Talk to yourself in English loudly. It can be anything from a suggestion like, "Shall we go get a glass of water?" or a reminder, "I need to do a load of laundry today." Alternatively, pick up a book and read a couple of pages out loud. This exercise might slow down your reading, but it will speed up your speaking skills. You can also record yourself, listen to the recording, and watch out for any wrong pronunciations. If it is possible, ask for feedback from a native speaker. 7. Think in English. If you already think in English, it takes less time to produce or respond in everyday conversations. No translation needed. A good way to start rethinking is to keep a diary where you express your daily thoughts in English. It does not have to be perfect. It is more about getting out thoughts in English with less and less effort. 8. Retell a story in English. Take the challenge a step further. By retelling a story, you retrace other people's line of thoughts in your own words. I would start with a familiar story from your culture. Your translation needs to convey not only the meaning of words, but all rhetorical and cultural nuances. Alternatively, you can choose different words to retell a simple story in English. Start from the basics. Reading something like a fairy tale or a fable, either way will be beneficial to your English communication skills. Frequently practice to improve your English speaking skills. Practice makes perfect, so do speak English in plenty. Some people think that they do not have the opportunity to practice speaking because they do not live in the US or another English-speaking country. They might also be discouraged because English is not used at their workplace or they do not know any native speakers. There is some validity in those excuses, but do not let them hinder your learning. Thanks to the growth of globalization and technology, you have more chances than ever to practice speaking English. You'll find many ideas below. 9. Participate in public speaking events. Big universities, theaters and culture societies organize events like open debates, spoken word readings and improvised storytelling gatherings. These are places where you can come and mingle with like-minded people and practice speaking English. Many cities are now hosting TED or TEDx talks where you can register to participate and share your innovative ideas. Check the events page of your local university to see if there are any available. It might be a nerve-wracking experience, but it would be great for your English. 10. Go to language cafes. If public speaking terrifies you, and I know it does for many, you can opt for language cafes. Those cafes create a friendly and relaxing atmosphere for people who want to practice and exchange languages. You can find language cafes through local universities or the meetup groups available in your cities. 11. Using apps. Another option is to use an app to talk to native speakers online in the comfort of your own home. Some popular apps are HelloTalk and Tandem. Basically, you register for an account, introduce yourself, your native language and your hobbies. The app will find you some matches, the people who speak English and want to practice the language you know well. All you need to do is to press a few buttons and start talking. 12. Chat with Siri. I find chatting with Siri is a great way to force myself to speak more clearly. As Siri is a machine, you cannot rely on environmental clues and facial gestures to get your ideas across. Your words are the only tool you have to make yourself understood. Thus, you need to speak as clearly and precisely as you could. Another plus point of using Siri is that she is always available as long as your phone is charged and connected to a Wi-Fi network. Just press the home button and start asking questions. If you own an Android smartphone, you can practice speaking with Google now. Remember to go to the description and check the links for Canadian companies searching for employees outside of Canada. Also, you have a link to contact us. Since you can only count on yourself, make your subscription and hit the like and bell icons to receive our latest videos. 3. Exercise. Exercise explanation. Quiz. Which technologies could help the world reach its climate goals? What is one problem the story identifies with the process of fusion? It results in harmful gas emissions. It requires a large amount of energy. It is costlier than other technologies. It needs water for the cooling process. Correct, it requires a large amount of energy. Why has the Sierra Club criticized the use of tax credits for carbon capture technology? It would not support long-term deployment of the technology. It could lead to abuses in government assistance programs. It could lead to more plants continuing to burn fossil fuels. All of the above. Correct. It could lead to more plants continuing to burn fossil fuels. What statement best describes blue hydrogen? It is produced using energy methods such as wind and solar. It needs a lot of energy and costly equipment to produce. It requires more natural gas to produce than gray hydrogen. It can be made in natural gas plants that capture carbon. Correct. It can be made in natural gas plants that capture carbon. What is used to turn the turbines to produce geothermal power? Water, wind, steam, fire. Correct. Steam. In the description you have our contacts to know more about the remote programs and materials that you can have. Tell us your questions and pretty soon you will see what we have to say. Leave your comments about this video and we will know what you like and what we can do to better help you. Thank you for watching this video and be sure that we will be with you in this journey to turn your dreams into reality. Keep up there and write your story. I'll see you at the next one.